Guitar heroes. We all have them, we all know about them. The men and women that inspire us to pick up the guitar and play each and every time that we hear them. And there are a lot of people that fit that guitar hero description. Some we all know about, but there's some that we don't know about, but should. The guitarist I'm going to talk to you about today doesn't fit that traditional guitar hero description, and his playing style doesn't either. I'm Zach Hval, singer, songwriter, guitar player extraordinaire, and this is Unsung 6-String Heroes. Marc Ribot was born in Newark, New Jersey in 1954. As a teen, like most of us young guitarists did, he played in a number of garage bands. He studied guitar under Haitian classical guitarist and composer Franz Cassius. He moved to New York in 1978 and joined the soul punk group Real Tones. He also played in John Lurie's Lounge Lizards. From the years of 1979 to 1985, he would work extensively as a side musician and session guitar player for people like Brother Jack McDuff, Rufus Thomas, Chuck Berry, and one of my personal musical heroes, Tom Waits. In fact, it's his atonal guitar sound that helped Tom Waits define his new musical sound as he moved away from the more contemporary jazz sounds into the avant-garde realm. A good example of this sound is the 1985 album Rain Dogs. According to Rolling Stone magazine, guitarist Marc Ribot helped Tom Waits refine a new, weird Americana on 1985's Rain Dogs, and since then he's become the go-to guitar guy for all kinds of roots music adventurers, Robert Plant and Alison Krauss, Elvis Costello, and John Mellencamp. I would check out the concert film by Tom Waits big time. Ribot is playing lead guitar on that whole film and the subsequent album. I am particularly fond of his work on 16 Shells from a 30-06. It's a nice bluesy riff and a completely unhinged guitar solo. I mean, it starts off in a very traditional bluesy kind of tonality, and then it becomes something completely different, something I would say completely original. It's a good example of that sort of atonal inspired style of play. And the same goes for his solo on the song Clap Hands, again from the 1985 album Rain Dogs. As far as his original material goes, if you liked the stuff with Tom Waits, I would suggest you check out his work with his group Ceramic Dog. I like the post-rock subgenre. There's so much to explore there, especially if you want something different. In any case, their most recent release came out this year in 2023, called Connection. I particularly liked the title track to that album, Connection. I didn't get the chance to listen to the whole album, but I liked what I heard, specifically that title track, Connection. I would also check out Lies My Body Told Me from the 2013 album, Your Turn. There's just a lot of space and there's a lot of texture there, and it's a good example of his versatility there. It's not straightforward rock guitar in the way that, we kind of understand it. Beyond that, if you can get through that, I would also check out his group. Let's see if I can pronounce this in Spanish. My Spanish is rusty. I believe it's Los Postizos Cubano, the prosthetic Cubans, plural. That's an album I believe came out in the 90s with that group. If you haven't experienced any Latin music, or specifically Cuban music, the Afro-Cuban music, you need to check that out, especially if you're a guitar nerd like me. Again, his playing is very versatile. His phrasing it's so immaculate on those songs. So I would highly check that out, especially it is very digestible music just in general, but from that album with the prosthetic Cubans, that first one, it's especially digestible. What else? I think that covers it. There's so much to unpack with his discography and a lot of the other guitarists I've covered in this series' discographies. But my goal is to just give you a good starting point, and I think that's a good starting point. As far as amps go, Marc seems to prefer a 65 Fender Deluxe Reverb, specifically the reissue. Marc has used a number of guitars over the years. For the 2013 album Your Turn with his group Ceramic Dog, he used a 1963 Fender Jaguar into the deluxe, almost exclusively. He seems to use that Jaguar a lot and is often photographed with it, so if I had to pick a guitar of his, to kind of go with him, I would say it's the Fender Jaguar, specifically that 1963 Fender Jag. He's also been seen and heard using a Harmony Stratotone, a Gibson SG, and a Gibson HG00 Sunburst 1937 acoustic guitar. That would be his main acoustic guitar. As far as pedals go, he's claimed that he's not much of an effects guy, but he does have a few interesting choices that are worth taking a look at. For example, he's used the Analog Man King of Tone pedal, a Memory Man Delay, a Union Transistor More, a Jam Pedals Delay Llama, a Maxo AOD 808 Overdrive, a Black Cat Pedals Bass Octave Fuzz, and an Ernie Ball VP Jr. Passive Volume Pedal. At least that's all I was able to kind of verify with almost 100% accuracy based off some interviews with him, some video footage, and things like that. If you're wanting to go for this sound, which would be next to impossible with him, I would say for sure any Fender Jaguar or even a Strat with maybe pokier pickups would do the job, and any Fender style amp should work for amp. For sure, some type of slapback delay would also be a requirement. You hear that a lot in particularly some of the stuff from the 80s. And some of my favorite sounds feature a lighter drive, so any generic drive or even a little bit of amp gain would work. Or you can go the Strymon Deco route, which I've seen people do when they're trying to emulate Marc Ribot's sound, which gives a light crunch and also the possibility of a little slapback. As I listen to the work he's done with Tom Waits and then outside of Tom Waits, one of the things that stands out to me and why I really appreciate it is there's almost like there's no wrong notes. And to get to that level as a musician, especially as a guitar player, it takes a lot of time and effort, and it just demonstrates the command that he has of his instrument to do these sort of diminished and half diminished augmented things. Like in the clap hands or guitar solo, or really anything from the Swordfish Trombones album as well, I believe he played on, kind of demonstrates that. And it's so interesting because like when you think about guitar heroes and like guitar players and things like that, like you think like Jimi Hendrix has a very distinct sound. Stevie Ray Vaughan has a very distinct sound. Like you hear these guys and you know it's them. Like Marc Ribot's playing is like that, but it's like when he sits down to do a piece of music. I remember reading as I was doing research for this video that his goal is to just kind of create an experience there. So if like you hear something that's just chock full of emotion or something like that, it's a very intentional creative choice on his part. And so in some sense, when he has that sort of distinct style or sound, he considers that somewhat of a misfire, because he's trying to do something completely unique and original each and every time he sits down to play. Whether he's playing on an album with Elvis Costello or Tom Waits or Alison Krauss, any of the people that I mentioned before, whether it's that or his own music with Ceramic Dog or what have you, or if he's just doing more free-form improvisation of a classic jazz piece, he tries to make it his own each and every time, but you can still tell it's Marc Ribot. And that's so just inspiring to me and fascinating to me that somebody, he's really put in the work. And, it's just that atonal style. I remember I'd never heard guitar playing like that. Well, the first time I listened to Rain Dogs by Tom Waits, when I was first getting into Tom Waits' avant-garde stuff, that was the first thing I noticed, was just like, what is that guy playing on the guitar? You know, and it's just, he's something truly special. And I don't think he gets the attention that he deserves from us guitar players in the music world as a whole. And I get it's not everybody's cup of tea. You have to have sort of the palate for that, shall we say. But I think it's worth checking out if you're a fan of, you know, guitar music, if you're a guitar player yourself, or, you know, you just want to hear something that isn't on the radio, something that isn't super hyper produced and compressed and things like that. So there you go. That is your introduction to the man, the myth, the legend, Marc Ribot. Let me know what you think. If you're a Marc Ribot fan out there, I'd appreciate the comments down below. Let me know what the your first experience with Marc Ribot was. A lot of people in some of these videos leave very interesting stories about seeing these cats live. Hopefully he comes to my neck of the woods. I would absolutely jump at the chance to go see him. In any case, thank you so much for watching this video. I really do appreciate it. People do seem to really dig these Unsung 6-string heroes videos. They're a lot of work, a lot of research goes into them, and so I do appreciate you sticking around to the end of this video. It does mean the most. It would also mean the most to me if you would give this video a little thumbs up there, that you would also consider subscribing to the YouTube channel to get more videos like this. That would really mean the most. And also, while you're here on the Zach Hval YouTube channel, would also appreciate it if you'd stick around for a musical hangout each and every Tuesday night at 6 p.m. Pacific time. It is the live music extravaganza that, quite frankly, everybody's talking about, and you're missing out, and you don't want to keep missing out, do you? So go ahead and subscribe for that, and also down in the description box, and probably at various points here on screen, there'll be links to other videos here in this series and on this channel. I would appreciate that. You would click the links below to listen to my music. I don't have anything actually, I did do a Tom Waits cover from the album Rain Dogs. I did a cover of Gun Street Girl with some Marc Ribot style guitar playing on it. I very much took influence from him. So check that out on Spotify, Amazon, Apple Music, all that fun stuff. Links are down below to that. That's it. That's all I got. This is the end of the video. So I just want to say thank you so much for watching. I'm Zach Hval, singer, songwriter, guitar player extraordinaire, signing off, reminding you that if the pen is mightier than the sword, then a keyboard is an atomic bomb. Bread is bread, cheese is cheese, praise God.
Hallelujah. Hallelujah.